But, and just a thought, Paul, could we combine the powers of a trial jury with the powers of a grand jury to just move forward with one entity that it has all the powers to do everything?
Yes, the grand jury has all the power it needs.
Well, can we combine it then with a trial jury and go ahead and assemble 12 grand jurors to issue a trial jury verdict?
Well, yeah, they would. They most certainly would issue a. They would not issue a verdict. What they would issue is called a special presentment.
Well, then you're saying that we can't combine a grand jury with a trial jury because a trial jury can issue a final judgment and a verdict, right?
That does not necessarily preclude a grand jury in a very specific legal setting from issuing a final verdict.
Okay.
And that final verdict comes when what you need to understand is this, that those grand jurors are sitting as judges of a court of inquiry. Now, they only need to go to the level of probable cause to believe. However, if the evidence is so overwhelming that they reach the level of beyond a reasonable doubt, then in their judicial capacity, they can issue a final order.
Could that be also referred to as a final judgment and a juror's verdict?
Yes, that would be, yes. Oh, yeah, definitely. That would be a final judgment, and it would be a final jury judgment.
Well, now we're cooking with gas. Now we're really making progress, because if we can work like that and combine the powers of a grand jury with the powers of a trial jury, then our days of arguing about trial jury versus grand jury are over, and we don't have to, we can use either terminology, but we can move forward with the more powerful process that both of us perceive, and it don't matter what we call it. Does that sound right?
Basically, you're correct. Now, keep in mind, this does not apply in every instance. This is a very particular case, a very unique case that they will be engaged in. So this is one, as a matter of fact, now that I think back on it, I don't believe that a grand jury has ever done this before. But they do have that. They do have the scope of their power is so broad that they have all of the authority of law they need to do this case that way. Now, they'll have to be particular about their procedures. I mean, they'll have to be very particular. They'll have to understand when they go from a fact-finding body to an adjudicatory body. But as long as they pay attention to the P's and Q's, they could, a grand jury, one federal grand jury could pull this off. Probably I would recommend that they do that with the assistance of several other federal grand juries, assisting them fact-finding portion of their investigation.
Lots of potential there.
You see, that is not unlike a what am I trying to say? Magistrate judge, a magistrate court. That their power, the magistrate court is a good example of what can happen, and that applies when a magistrate judge hears testimony and sees evidence, and then weighs all of that and reaches a probable cause determination, and then he transfers that probable cause over to a final judgment it's an issuance of a warrant for arrest.
Are you saying? I don't believe that final judgment is necessary before a warrant of arrest can be issued. I think they only have to have probable cause. Isn't that true?
Yes, probable cause, but probable cause results in a warrant for arrest, and there's only ways to get out from under a warrant from a warrant. A warrant for arrest is appealable. It is a final order that is subject to appeal. But the way the appellate process works is that the first appeal is to a grand jury. They make the final determination of probable cause. But you don't have to wait for your case to be transferred up to a grand jury. You can take a warrant for your arrest, go get booked in at the jail, make bond, get out, and file an appeal with in our case, with the Georgia Court of Appeals. If you can prove a legal basis that would invalidate the issuance of the warrant.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, we should probably table our in-depth discussion of the process there.
Yeah.